I'm back. Hi, Wenatchee Valley. Hi, North Central Washington. Back from vacation. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. For this President's Day, or Washington's birthday, we'll get into that in a couple of minutes, the 18th day of February, 2019. Thanks to Eric Granstrom, who filled in for me for the last couple of weeks. I took an extended vacation, the longest vacation I've had in quite some time. I went south. Went down to the Arizona area and played some golf and enjoyed the nice weather and missed out on all this stuff. I got back into town a few days ago and I came back to this. Anyway, it's good to be back. Thanks for everybody on the staff for kind of having to fill in for whatever it is that I do around here. And since I've been gone since February 1st, I'm not really sure what it is I do around here. We're just going to fake it as we make it. It is Monday. You know what we do here on Mondays. We're here. I'm here. Megan is here in the control room. We're going to work. We're not going to work real hard. And you combine that in with a holiday, President's Day. A lot of people are off today. We're not going to work really hard at all, I guess is the best way to put it. In fact, let's get right into the meat and potatoes. We have school closures. Everybody, no school today because it's President's Day. It's a holiday. No school. Government offices, of course, are closed. No mail delivery. Banks, most banks are closed on this holiday. Very light traffic. In fact, my guest in the second half of the program, Lisa Melvin, who is the new executive director of CASA, she and her good friend Kenzie Conley will be into the second half of the show. Lisa was mentioning to me about 15 minutes ago how light the traffic is around North Central Washington. And it is, because it's just a lot of people just get the day off on this President's Day. Everything else is lined up and ready for you. We got the weather forecast. We'll take you up to the mountain passes. We're going to have a little bit of snow still coming up this week. Long period of cool weather still as we get deeper and deeper into February. We're getting closer and closer to March. Can't come soon enough for us. So we got the weather, we got the passes, we got the news, we got sports, we have the obscure holiday, we have birthdays, we have today in history, and everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. So if you're ready, and I'm ready, and I think I remember what it is that I do, let's go around the valley with our Valley View cameras, all of these cameras, of course, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless, the cross camera. This is a beautiful area to live in. And again, I was down in the Arizona desert for 12 days. I didn't really miss this, but it's good to be home, and it's a good reminder of why we call this place home, even though we've been having to deal with this for a while. Beautiful shot. Quite a bit of snowmelt over the weekend. Yesterday's high was 34 degrees, which is still well below normal, but still, we're starting to get a little bit of snowmelt. The plows were out doing a lot of work, so there's really no snow berms to speak of, at least in the Wenatchee Valley anymore. They're all but gone. Camera 2, where are we going there, Megan? We're going to go dissolve and see, is that Jump Off Ridge? Help me out, Megan. I'm not sure where that is. I want to say that's Jump Off Ridge. Beautiful view. Everybody's still covered in snow, but your yard has just gone to sleep. That's all. You know what still grows? I found this out from Bonnie Orr. Your grass is still growing in the dead of winter because, of course, snow is white, and the rays from the sunlight will actually go through the snow and right to the grass. Little gardening tip for you. Camera 3 is a visit to Billy Goat, a spectacular view. On my way down to Phoenix, the plane I shared, the guy sitting right next to me is the head pro at the Alta Lake Golf Course. He lives right by the Alta Lake Golf Course. This is at the bottom of your screen. Nice guy. He was heading down like I was, just to get out of the winter for a little bit and head down to the Phoenix area. Have a great visit with that gentleman. They've done a great job at the Alta Lake Golf Course, by the way. Funny the people that you meet on airplanes, isn't it? Camera 4 is a shot of Omi Gardens. The Stimmill Complex is at the bottom of your screen, the Otobashian Bridge. Again, very light traffic this morning. A lot of people taking the day off. There is no mail delivery. There's no government offices, no school buses because there's no school. I'm not sure about Link. I think Link might be just on a regular schedule. I probably should have looked that up for you. But anyway, we wrap up our tour around North Central Washington with our camera from Omi Gardens. So at 4.5 minutes after the hour on this Monday, let's take a look at your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Sunshine today, not bad at all. High of about 29, 28, 29, right around there, give or take a couple. So it's going to be cold, it's going to be dry today and Tuesday. A little bit warmer on Tuesday. We'll have some clouds to hold the heat in a little bit. Then we start talking about a little bit of snow, another round of snow possible by Wednesday. It's going to skip by us. The Spokane area and the Idaho Panhandle, you could get 3, 4, 5 inches of snow on Wednesday. It's kind of just going to slide by us on Wednesday, maybe half an inch possible Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's all that we're looking at there. Go right back to the sunshine Thursday and a high of about 32. All of these high temperatures that you see across the board are below normal, both the afternoon highs and the overnight lows. A rain-snow mix possible on Saturday with a high of about 33, mostly cloudy to wrap up the week on Sunday, and a high of 32 degrees. No big storms, no winter storm warnings, no winter storm watches for the north central Washington area. So all things considered, considering what we've had to deal with the last couple of weeks, no real complaints at all. Kind of benign weather. That's your forecast from the National Weather Service. 5.5 minutes up to the after the hour. Let's go up to the major mountain passes where things are looking good right now, but boy, things are going to change. That's a live shot of I-90, Snoqualmie Pass. It is open. There are no advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is mostly bare and dry, looking good. Stevens Pass, no issues at all there. Just lots of skiers. No advisories, no restrictions. Roadway is bare and dry with frost and ice in places. A lot of traffic up at the summit, as you might imagine. People are taking the day off to go skiing. Blewett's looking just good. It's fine. Just do a live shot of Blewett Pass. There you go. Looks like there's a truck pulled off to the side, taking a little nap. No advisories, no restrictions. Roadway is bare and dry. It's funny I mentioned skiing. This day, President's Day, is traditionally the busiest single day at Mission Ridge. A lot of people take a 3-day weekend. They come over here to our neck of the woods. They check into a hotel room, and they enjoy skiing at Mission Ridge. So if you're heading up to Mission Ridge, you're probably going to get quite a bit of traffic. Always a busy day on President's Day. Next, snow for the mountain passes Tuesday. They're expecting 3 to 5 inches of snow on Tuesday, an additional 6 to 10 inches Tuesday night. Going to get a lot of snow Tuesday and a lot of snow on Tuesday night. Again, we're talking about the major mountain passes and a couple of inches of snow, maybe up to 4 inches of snow spilling over into Wednesday. So Tuesday night and Wednesday, significant snowfall for the major mountain passes. It will not be very easy to get over there, but if you need to go, now's a good time. Your window of opportunity is perfect. No advisories, no restrictions. 7.5 minutes after the hour. What made news over the weekend? I don't know. I've been gone. We'll find out together. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
My name is Hannah Peterson-Kinney, and I'm a certified nurse midwife. I became a midwife because I thought birth was one of the most amazing, beautiful things. It's about caring for women through many stages of life and helping to empower them with knowledge and build partners to improve their health. It would be an honor to provide care for you, and I would love to welcome you to the CVCH midwife family.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We have overcast conditions and 21 degrees outside of our studios. Quite a bit of sunshine today. High of just about 30. Then we cloud up with a little bit of light snow expected Tuesday night and Wednesday. Here's what's making headlines on this Monday morning. A West Side man rescued after he was injured in a snowmobile accident in the backcountry of Chelan County. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett reports that 39-year-old Benjamin Hayden of Woodland was injured Friday afternoon while snowmobiling near Sugarloaf Lookout. That's about 12 miles northeast of Leavenworth. Hayden was discovered at the bottom of a steep slope by a deputy and a U.S. Forest Service officer who were on a routine patrol. Hayden had suffered a broken leg after his snowmobile became stuck about 2 hours earlier. While the officers were stabilizing Hayden's leg, he went unconscious, became unresponsive. A life flight helicopter deployed due to the remote location of the accident. Hayden was then transported from the scene by life flight to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee. Well, the Wenatchee Valley loses yet another national retailer. The announcement by Payless Shoe Source, all 2,100 of the remaining stores in the U.S. will be closed. Two stores will be closing in the Wenatchee Valley, including the one located in the Wenatchee Valley Mall in East Wenatchee and at the Valley North Center in the building also shared with the soon-to-be-closed Shopko store. Payless Shoe Source has 5 locations in Spokane and in the Spokane Valley, 3 in Coeur d'Alene, 1 in Newport. The Kansas-based chain said liquidation sales started Sunday, that there's also winding down their e-commerce operations. All of the stores will remain open until at least the end of March. The majority will remain open until May. Well, at the regular meeting last week, the Eastmont School Board approved a new 3-year collective bargaining agreement for Eastmont administrators. The 3.1% raise this year coincides with the salary hike approved by the board for Superintendent Garn Christensen. That happened earlier this month. In the 2019-2020 school year, Eastmont's 25 certified administrators will get a 5.9% salary bump. Christensen says the new contract keeps wages competitive with other school districts and matches those of the other bargaining units. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, the Wenatchee School Board approved a 3-year labor agreement with the school district's 73 employees of the Maintenance and Operations Department. That contract also comes with a general 3.1% pay hike, except for mechanics, carpenters, irrigation techs, and HVAC and laundry personnel. They will receive raises of anywhere between 5 and 12%. Well, Lake Transit is seeking student applicants for its Transit Ambassador program. Transit ambassadors develop job skills and scholarship references through the successful completion of 30 volunteer hours assisting in Lake Transit's marketing and outreach efforts. Now in its 12th year, the Transit Ambassador program is designed to give students a better understanding of the value of public transportation and how to better utilize public transit to access work, school, and recreational opportunities. Transit ambassadors may come from any school within Link's service area. It's open to any student who will be 14 or older by the application deadline. That's March 29th. Those interested must submit a photo of themselves and write an essay of 200 words or less on the benefits of public transit. You can look at your application and fill them out by going to linktransit.com. Well, it's going to be another chilly week around north central Washington. In fact, temperatures will be dipping down into the teens, the overnight lows anyway. So it's a good time to check your car's coolant. See how you're prepared. You have the right amount of level. Here's an easy way to test it.
One way to do so is very easy with a very cheap device you can buy at your local auto parts store to check the level of your antifreeze. You can do this. This one actually has for cold temperatures and for hot temperatures to check the antifreeze level in your vehicle, because if you're not set up well enough, you can have your block freeze, your radiator freeze. That's not a good thing here in the winter conditions. So let's take a look. We've had several of our employees bring their vehicles to us here. And what you want to do is check the reservoir for your antifreeze. You don't want to check it directly from the radiator because there could be back pressure built up, and you don't want that to get into your face. First of all, the car has to be cold. You don't want to have your engine warmed up for this. So you just take the reservoir cap off, and very simply, you stick the nozzle into your reservoir. And first of all, you want to be sure the reservoir has fluid in it. If it doesn't have any fluid in it, you're probably not going to be good to go for the cold temperatures. You just suck the fluid out of the reservoir into this device, and you look at the cold side, and it says that this car is good up to about 30 degrees below zero. So she's good to go. And we're going to check some more of our staff vehicles here at the NCW Life Channel and see if their cars are good to go as well. Be sure you check yours too. Now, again, we're not checking the radiator itself. We're checking from the reservoir. This one just has a cap on it that is fit-tighted. And okay, so I'm reaching in to fill this tester, and I'm not getting any fluid at all. So that's not a good sign. Doesn't necessarily mean that the car is not protected against the cold temperatures, but you don't have enough fluid to be feeding the radiator. You should have at least up to a fill level, which will show you on the side of the reservoir how much coolant you should have. So now there's different types of coolant you can get, different brands. I'm not going to talk about brand names, but you can get two different types. You get the concentrate, which is straight antifreeze, or you can get a 50-50 mix, which is 50% antifreeze and 50% water. You don't want to go straight with the heavy stuff because that's going to be too much for your radiator to handle unless you got a big hawser rig like Uriah Darby with a big diesel. So I'm going to put this straight antifreeze into this reservoir. And again, what you should really be doing is having this car started, have your heater on so everything is circulated when you do this. Now, if this goes all the way in and isn't digested, if you will, by the radiator and your cooling system, then that's a pretty good indication that you're really down on your antifreeze and coolant, and that means you might have a leak somewhere, might be a water pump problem, hose problem, and you want to definitely get that checked out.
So if you find that your coolant level is down or won't protect you in the cold temperatures, the recommendation, well, make an appointment as soon as you get your oil changed or get a hold of mechanic. You don't want to drive around in conditions like that. Well, if you have icicles on your home right now, you're not alone. Check out these photos. Here at the NCW Life Channel, we asked area residents to share photos of their icicles, and boy, did they respond. As pretty as they may look, though, local roofing experts say you should knock them down before they do damage to your gutters or your roof's fascia. But be careful, because you don't want to get hit by a monster icicle as it falls. And finally, on this Monday morning, the newest NCW Life Channel magazine hitting the airwaves takes a dive into the local Chelan Douglas CASA program, which was founded, of course, by our friend Sue Baker. We'll be bringing you segments of that program each day on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and on the Evening News with Grant Olson, produced by Caitlin Heddersheet. She visited with Sue Baker and learned how she helped bring children aimed at advocating the abused and neglected children, how she brought CASA to the Wenatchee Valley.
I've always had an interest in children and their rights to be saved and cared for, and many years ago, I had an incident when I was volunteering at the University of Washington Hospital and I was nothing more than a kid, and it ingrained upon me that someone needed to speak up for the children. And so that kind of sparked my interest, and as I grew and became involved, I would often become involved in programs that helped kids. So, child abuse and neglect doesn't just occur over in, the large cities or on the other side of the tracks, that it's in every community, and it brings light to the needs of our families, not just the needs of our kids, but also the families in our community. The foster parents that came really felt the children that were in their care, their needs weren't being met, that they were slipping through the cracks, and due to caseloads and other issues within the community, they really wanted to have an advocate, a voice for that particular child, making sure that the courts and agencies knew what was important for that child and keep their voice powerful. It was not something I had done before, but my suggestion was that we approach the bench and see whether or not it was a program that they would like to see established here in our community. And at the time, the court was a combined judicial court, so it was for both Chelan and Douglas counties. And Judge Carol Wardell, now retired, was on the bench at the time. And so she's who we approached, and she was in favor of it and started, and actually, in my opinion, co-founded the program, because she started doing the research that was necessary, making the contacts that was necessary, and we started it. One of the first things we did was to decide whether or not it was going to be a nonprofit or whether it was going to be a court-based program, because in the state of Washington, most of the programs are court-based, which would mean that I would have been a county employee. And so it was decided that we would do a nonprofit, which, by the way, means you have to go find your money, and that it would help us remain independent. And so we were independent of the state and of the courts, basically. So we contract with the courts. The volunteers, we have over 100 volunteers. That's huge for such a small community. And they're dedicated, and they have a passion for children's rights. And I really owe it to the community that have helped this program in so many ways. So by advocating for the children's best interest in the court system, but also being out there and being spokespersons for the program itself and helping to recruit, helping with funding issues, taking the step forward to making a difference in the legislature, and making a difference here in our community, in letting people know what the needs are of our families and our community.
Yeah, it's good stuff from Caitlin Hittersheet, one of our top flight producers. Happy retirement, by the way, to Sue Baker. We love Sue. She is officially now retired, but her predecessor, the lady who's taken over for her, Lisa Melvin, is going to be a guest on this very program. She'll be on here in about 15 minutes or so, alongside with Kenzie Conley. We'll talk a little bit more, get to know Lisa, who's got some pretty big shoes to fill. But she's the new executive director of CASA. We'll talk about the big Rock N Roll Bowl-a-thon for kids, which is this weekend at Eastmont Lane, so stay close for that conversation. The news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 are your 3 chances to check out the news right here on television. Or as we like to say in the business, TV. Grant with the news at 5, 6, and 10. Available to watch on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com. We get it up and running late in the afternoon. In fact, you can watch anything you want on our website at ncwlife.com. You can watch us live. We stream live all the time, 24/7, 365. Or if there's a specific show that you want to watch that you may have missed, it's pretty easy as well. Also, you can use our website as a tool for you to get a hold of us. ncwlife.com. Click on the Contact Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. And it's pretty self-explanatory from there. You can email us, news@ncwlife.com. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call if you want. Go to our Facebook page and private message us. Remember, this is just as much your TV station as it is ours. In fact, maybe we should just let you guys take over. It's 22 minutes after the hour. In 1 minute, we'll take a look at sports. Great weekend for the Wenatchee boys basketball team. Cashmere girls and boys, they've punched their ticket to state. Wenatchee Wild clinched their number 3 seed in the playoffs. All the sports that you need to know is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week and let's get inspired.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this President's Day. I am Dan Kuntz. Let's take a look at sports. The Wenatchee Panthers won the District 6 championship Saturday night, a thrilling 52-51 victory at Wenatchee High School. They beat Davis. It literally came down to the final seconds after Davis wrestled away its first lead midway through the first quarter. The handsome and debonair Grant Olson and the even more handsome and more debonair Eric Kuntz had the call right here on the NCW Life channel.
4 minutes halfway through this fourth quarter, and we're tied at 40. Reyes steals it from Plowman. Reyes layup good, and Davis with their first lead of the night. Marcus Cook comes way out on him. Carlson with the screen. There goes Long to the basket. Layup is good. Long, his first bucket this quarter. That ties it up now at 42 apiece. Marcus Cook left open. 3, it's good as he looks at the crowd. Winner goes on, loser goes home. Here's Blauman. He's going to drive to the basket. Layup is good. Reyes stops, elbow, and he gets hit from behind. It's good. And Lloydhammer is going to be penalty charge, I believe, with his 4th personal foul. Didn't see that. You don't see it very often from behind like that. Blauman on the baseline. Panthers need good possessions here. Blauman all the way underneath, reverse layup, good. Panthers with a minute and a half left, down by 2 possessions. It's Lloydhammer to Chelsea, now it's Long. He's gonna put up the tough shot for 3, it's good! Lloydhammer at the line, right-handed shooter on the way, gets this one. And it's a 1-point game, 51-50. Blauman almost the turnover there. And then Evan Smith does pick up the turnover to Blauman. Blauman down court, 20 seconds left. A foul, a blocking foul on the Pirates, and it's Marcus Cook. 24.5 seconds left in the game. Panthers down by 1. Nathan Blauman at the free throw line. The 5'11 junior has not shot a free throw so far tonight. First one, good, and that ties it up. And that's really what the Panthers wanted at this stage. And Blauman now with 15 points in this game, most of them here in the second half.
Been a real quiet 15, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. 11 here in the second half. Panthers a chance to retake the lead. Blauman, free throw, rolls in, it's good. Woo, and who knows, here down the stretch with 18 seconds left. Here we go, Reyes with it for Davis. Underneath, the big man, Bennett Joe, the ball is blocked, but Cook comes up with the loose ball. 9 seconds left. It's Reyes with it, gets it knocked out of his hands. Now Guerrero, and a foul is called with 5.2 seconds left. 5.2 seconds left. Davis and Xavier Guerrero can put the Pirates back in the lead with 2 made free throws. How about this?
Yeah, with no timeouts for Wenatchee, they're going to have to come up with something hurry on 2 makes.
First one on the way, no good. Guerrero will get another one. It's only a sophomore, Eric. He might be feeling the pressure a little bit here. And boy, this place is loud right now. Blauman and Earl Lee III getting a little rough after that free throw. And the referee had to come over and settle them down a little bit. Here we go again. Guerrero, second free throw on the way. It's no good. The Panthers, who has it? Earl Lee III, baseline shot at the buzzer, no good!
Over.
And the Wenatchee Panthers hold on and win the District 6 Big 9 championship by a final score of 52-51.
Wow, what a game.
I was there. It was a very exciting game, and Panthers move on. They did it, by the way, by defeating Moses Lake Friday night to get to the championship game against Davis on Saturday. Now, the WIAA is expected to have the brackets filled out by tonight for the regional round of the tournament. So it's the final 16. Wenatchee will probably be the number 16 seed, which means it faces the number 11 seed, which is currently Kentridge. The 2 teams will play either Friday or Saturday in a winner-to-state, loser-out contest. We will know the entire bracket for all the classifications at this time tomorrow. The Cashmere boys and girls, they're headed to the State 1A tournament after victory Saturday at Rondone Memorial Gymnasium. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard. Cashmere girls had no trouble with their crossover game with Deer Park. They won 51-27. They'll advance to the regionals as the number 4 seed. That's still, we're looking, of course, at what happened on Friday and Saturday with the Panthers. So Cashmere girls, they move on, beating Deer Park. The Bulldogs will take on Elma probably. We don't really know in the regional round, Friday or Saturday. Either way, win or lose, the Cashmere girls will advance to the first round of state the following week. In the boys' game, Mason Landeck eclipsed the 1,000 career point mark, led Cashmere to an easy 85-60 win over Lakeside. The Bulldogs will have the number 6 seed heading into the regional round of the state tournament. They'll most likely face Zilla Friday or Saturday. Win or lose, Cashmere boys will advance to the first round of the state 1A tournament in Yakima the following week. The Antioch girls are the District 6 1B champions following their 48-44 win over Riverside Christian Friday. That was at Ephrata High School. The Tigers will be the number 12 seed heading into the regional round either Friday or Saturday. They'll face the number 13 seed in a winner-to-state loser-out game. The Waterville-Mansfield girls did all they could Saturday to extend their season, but nope, didn't happen. They fell to Mabton 44-42 in the last chance at regionals. Tri-Cities Prep, by the way, the Division 5-6 2B champion after the 62-43 win over Brewster. Liberty Bell beat Lake Roosevelt to take third with a 45-26 win. All of those teams but Waterville-Mansfield advances to the regional tournament this weekend. The Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard, District 5-6 2B boys. Kittitas, the district champ, after a 65-48 win over Lake Roosevelt. Brewster took third with a 66-49 win over Oroville. White Swan won the last chance at regionals over Tri-Cities Prep, 53-50. Well, we had a couple of area wrestlers make it to the finals at Mac Classic. 31 over the weekend at the Tacoma Dome. Unfortunately, both lost and took second. Take a look at your screen there. Chelan's Skylar Gordon placed second at 195 pounds. Cascades' Hunter Reinhardt took second at 285 pounds. Other local placers, including Cascades' Jace Seeley, seventh at 132 pounds. Chelan's Eric Alcala took third at 160 pounds. Chelan's Angel Mendoza was eighth at 182 pounds. In the girls' tournament, Wenatchee's Isabella Andrini took fourth at 130 pounds. Kelsey Ibarra, sixth at 105. Wenatchee's Connor Elwin, state champion in the 100 backstroke and the 100 freestyle. The Wenatchee Panthers took fourth in the team competition in Federal Way over the weekend. Teammates Christy Cutter, fourth in the 100 breaststroke, and Tristan Guerin took seventh in diving. Eastmont's Evan Vandersoos was sixth in the 100 breaststroke. Wenatchee's relay teams fourth in the 200 medley and 200 free. Well, the Wenatchee Wild got off to a rocky start in their final two home games of the regular season. They lost to Salmon Arm 3-1 on Friday. The only goal scored for the Wild was by Blake Barger, but a huge crowd on high end Saturday night helped spur the Wild to an incredible 6-5 comeback victory. Wenatchee trailed 4-3 heading into the final period. That's where we pick up the action. Art Checker on the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Turns around, comes up along the near side, drops it off for Sasaki. He walks down, he's in, shot, and he scores! Chad Sasaki picked the top corner. Right up over the shoulder of Langenegger. And this game is tied at 4. Dorsey pressed there. Sasaki pinches down to help. Stratton drops back to the point, holds it in, sends it over to Winslow. Winslow in, shot, he scores! Avery Winslow with a shot from the top of the left circle. Cron shot, another one, a save made, and the rebound bounced right past Hiroshi. Nice opportunity there, shot over, Boone blasted that one, and we're tied at 5. Boy, Matt Verboon with a bomb from the top of the left circle. Wild re-enter the zone, Stratton on the near side. Feathers it down low to the corner for Souter. Back across, shot, score! A.J. Hodges. That forces Unruh to turn back, and the net empty. Jenner fights for it, 15 seconds left to go. Pressed up against the near boards, Barger looking to extract it. And he comes up with it on the back wall. Barger up the left wall with it, 5 seconds left. Sends it around back behind the Salmon Arm net, and the horn sounds. And this one you can put to bed. These teams will see each other on Tuesday night. That's going to be some must-see TV. But a huge win for the Wild here tonight. With that win, Wenatchee secures home ice advantage for the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, as Arch mentioned, Wenatchee gets the number 3 seed heading to the playoffs. That means home ice advantage at least for the first round. Playoffs, by the way, don't begin until March. They still got 2 more regular season games to be played. Tomorrow night they'll be in Salmon Arm to take on the Silverbacks, and they'll be in Penticton Wednesday. Both games start at 7 o'clock. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. 34 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday, not too obscure today. Today is, of course, President's Day, or Washington's birthday, if you will. First of all, it's the third Monday of February, and since 1971, that's the way it's been. Whatever the third Monday in February is President's Day, except federally, it's still called Washington's birthday. The actual federal holiday, when federal workers get the day off, is still officially called Washington's birthday. States can call them whatever they want. Some states don't even have President's Day on this day. They have them later on. In Massachusetts, President's Day is in May. I suppose you can have it whenever you want. I mean, in Washington State, this state, we're one of 12 states who officially calls it President's Day. There are states who still call it Washington and Lincoln's birthday. There are other states who could, it's really cattywampus. There's no real rhyme nor reason to it. Officially, federally, it's still called Washington's birthday. We'll call it President's Day. It's supposed to honor all presidents, living or dead, who served as president, not just George Washington. Celebrate President's Day by buying a mattress, buying a washer and dryer. I don't know. Happy President's Day today. It is the 18th day of February, 2019. Today in history, let's take a look at Elm Farm Ollie. There's Ollie. Ollie is a cow. And 89 years ago today, on a flight from Bismarck, Missouri to St. Louis, Missouri, Elm Farm Ollie became the first cow to fly in a fixed-wing airplane. Also the first cow to be milked on an aircraft. They actually did this. It's about a 70-mile flight from Bismarck, Missouri to St. Louis. So they put the cow in the plane. Plane took off. Some guy flew the plane, another guy milked the cow. And this was a publicity stunt, yes, but they were also curious to figure out how altitude and flight would affect animals. Apparently not much. Elm Farm Ollie making history, the first cow to fly in an airplane 89 years ago today. February 18th, 1983. This is the 36th anniversary of the Wah-Mee Massacre, the largest robbery-motivated mass murder in U.S. history. 14 people were tied up. They were all shot in the head. 13 of them died immediately. One person was shot in the head, survived, testified in trial against the perpetrators of the crime, and sent them all to prison. Today is the 36th anniversary of one of the most notorious crimes in Pacific Northwest history, the Wah-Mee Massacre in Chinatown in Seattle. And two of the most significant NASCAR races of all time were held on this date. Today is the 40th anniversary of the 1979 Daytona 500. Most people consider this the most important race in NASCAR history. It was the first race ever, including the Indy 500, to be televised live from flag to flag. Richard Petty won it when, on the last lap, Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough ran into each other. They crashed on the final lap. They spun into the infield. Richard Petty slid by them, won his 6th Daytona 500. While all that was going on, Donnie Allison, Cale Yarborough, and Bobby Allison, Donnie's brother, all got into a fight on the backstretch. Literally got into a fist fight. That's quality television. 40 years ago today, the famous 1979 Daytona 500, and this is the 18th anniversary, unfortunately, of one of the worst moments in NASCAR history. Dale Earnhardt killed instantly when his number 3 car crashed on the last turn of the last lap of the Daytona 500. It happened on this date 18 years ago today. On a much better note, let's do some celebrity birthdays, shall we? George Kennedy was born in this state in 1925. There was a time in the 1970s and 80s, even the 60s, 70s, and 80s, George Kennedy seemed to be in every film that was ever made. All my favorite films, George Kennedy was in. Of course, he won an Oscar for Cool Hand Luke. Airport, Sons of Katie Elder, The Flight of the Phoenix, The Dirty Dozen, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Airport 75, Airport 77, The Iger Sanction, Earthquake, The Naked Gun. The great, legendary George Kennedy was born in the state in 1925. We lost George about 3 years ago at the age of 91. Toni Morrison celebrates her 88th birthday today, the American novelist and editor, Nobel Prize laureate, Pulitzer Prize Award winner, American Book Award winner, all for her classic 1988 book, Beloved, which is a must-read. And of course, she was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom back in 2012. The legendary Toni Morrison is 88, and Yoko Ono is 86 years old today. Happy 86th, Yoko. 39 minutes after the hour. You know, undocumented immigration is in all the news nowadays. It's going to be the topic of Mike McNally's opinion. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. That's right around the corner. Then my conversation with Lisa Melvin and Kenzie Conley, CASA, in the house. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Put winter weather in its place with a new Cub Cadet snow thrower from Rose Tractor. Hi, this is Corey. Let us help you get through the season with our line of Cub Cadet snow throwers. When it comes to snow, never let winter weather get in your way. The Cub Cadet X Series line of snow throwers offers 3 levels of snow clearing power and a host of award-winning models. Get ahead of the snow. Let us help you get into the right snow thrower for the job. Rose Tractor, family owned and operated, located at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing Honey Blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I used to have a limited view of those people we refer to as illegal aliens, but then a family of these folks, an undocumented family, moved in next door, and I got to know them, sharing a beer in our driveways, being there to help the kids when their mom and dad were off at work, being invited to their parties. By being involved in their lives and somehow getting to know them, I completely changed my opinion. There was a family who came to America for the same reason many of our families, yours and mine, did. In the first place, to find a better life. Now, I know some of these illegal immigrants are a problem for us, and I'm not trying to excuse that, but let's be honest. Every immigrant group that has come to America has had its bad apples, and that doesn't negate that most of the rest are as good Americans as you and I. That's true. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hi. It's Monday. I'm back from vacation. I barely know what it is that I'm doing, but thank goodness these two lovely young ladies to my immediate left, they know what they're doing. It's their biggest fundraiser of the year. It's this Saturday at East Mount Lanes. It's the CASA Rock N Roll Bowl-a-thon for kids. To my far left, she's a regular contributor to this program, Kenzie Conley. I'm still getting used to your new last name. I'll get there. And to my immediate left, making her debut on this award-winning program. We've never won an award.
Right, thank you, Dan.
Lisa Melvin is the new executive director of CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You're a first-timer. You've got some ginormous shoes to fill with the retirement of Sue Baker. But before we get into that, Lisa, a little something about yourself. Tell folks in the Wenatchee Valley about yourself.
Well, you were just talking about President's Day, and I actually share a birthday with Abraham Lincoln, which is quite special, and particularly what he stood for. I personally stand for just really standing up for injustice, and I've lived in the Wenatchee Valley since 2003. The shorter answer is people often ask me how I got here with this kind of weird accent.
Where is that?
Well, I grew up in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I grew up in Australia and I married a Wenatchee boy. So that's kind of the short answer. And so we've lived here since 2003. And really I've worked in non-profits pretty much that whole time here in the Wenatchee Valley, serving people in need. Mostly for Catholic charities. I worked there for about 10 years. The last 5 years I've worked in early learning, really the early learning initiatives that are across the state, serving about 8 counties. And I have actually served as a CASA volunteer for several years. So of course I loved the program. I was very invested in the program, and having this wonderful opportunity to step into a leadership position and really build on the legacy that Sue and of course Carol co-founded is really an honor and a privilege. And as you said, big shoes. I've got very small feet, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best, and to really honor that legacy. But it's not just Sue. It's Sue has really been the leader, but there are amazing volunteers that work, and of course staff. And I've worked with volunteers, and I think volunteers are the most amazing people on this earth and in this community. Very generous, very supportive, and that it's a privilege to work with them because they give so much of themselves. And of course our program is completely volunteer run. But we also, we have an amazing need, but then we have these passion and the commitment that the volunteers bring. It just brings this beautiful
Let's talk about the need. The last time I talked to Sue, and I talk to Sue on a regular basis when I'm not golfing in Australia, when I'm not golfing in Arizona. Last time I talked to Sue, there was a little over 200 kids in the system at any one point, which at the risk of editorializing sucks. Got that out of the way. Yeah. Where are you now? Still right around that 200 number?
Still sitting around that. I mean, the numbers are increasing. And our whole goal is, to find safety and permanency for these children, and so sometimes that takes time too. So CASAs will stay with a child. Perhaps the dependency process is supposed to be around 15 to 22 months, but often it ends up to 36. And we've had kids that have been in the dependency process for 7 years, and so
That's 7 years too
it's
long.
a huge commitment,
Yeah.
yes, and the CASA is the one stable presence with that child all along.
One of the things that Sue talked about in the feature that you saw during the newscast is they could have become a part of the system, but they chose to be a standalone, which gives you a great deal of freedom to take care of these kids and get them out and through. But it also means, well, you're on your own for money. The government doesn't cut you a check. That was an important distinction to make back in '93, wasn't it? They had to make up their mind, and they made the right decision, did they not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're only one of 3 programs statewide that actually is an independent nonprofit, and as Sue said in that earlier segment, that means that we have to fundraise. But it also gives us a lot more freedom to serve our kids in different ways than we would be if we were a court-based system.
Let's talk about the fundraiser. It is the Rock N Roll Bowl-a-thon for kids. It's been going on for how many years, Kenzie? 20 some odd. I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know, but a long time.
At least about 20 years, I want to say. Something like that. It's the single biggest fundraiser of the year for CASA. It's a lot of fun. It's the only fundraiser that I know where people just show up and bowl. I mean, how fun can that be? Give us a little, talk a little bit about what's happening on Saturday there, Kenzie.
So people can register online to bowl, and then they fundraise, and they can do that online or through cash or check donations, and then they bring that money to the bowling alley at their designated time, and they get to bowl for an hour and have fun with their friends, and people dress up in costumes, or the bowling alley turns on their disco ball and their lights and everything for cosmic bowling, so people dress up in white and just kind of make it a fun event.
I've been there, and they turn it into a party, and that's the cool part. It's even though the work that CASA does is sobering and important, but you make it fun for everybody to show up, and you can, give them more money or just bowl for longer than an hour. But when you register is whether you get your lane assigned too, right? So the quicker you register, you can say, gee, I can't bowl at 2, but I can bowl at 7, and you can make those arrangements, right?
Right. There's only a certain amount of lanes per hour that East Mountain Lanes gives us, because they have different things going on throughout the day. So the earlier times between like 3 and 5, we have more lanes available, but when we get to 6, 7, or 8, there's less lanes available, and those ones tend to fill up faster. People like to go to dinner and then come bowl or something along those lines.
Do you have a goal? I know it's kind of how much money do we want to raise? Is there a goal for how much money you want to raise, Kenzie? I'm putting you on the spot here.
We do have a goal for how much we want to raise, but it's a loose goal. I think our goal more is to get people involved, because the more you're involved, the more you learn about CASA. And so our goal is 50 teams, I think, or 55 teams this year.
55.
And so that's more our big goal that we're trying to achieve.
Let's go back to you real quick, Lisa, while I have the chance. There's a couple of questions I have for you. You mentioned you were a CASA volunteer for quite some time. Sue's impending retirement at the time was not a secret. She had told everybody quite a bit of time. I'm at the end of January of 2019. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. So how did Sue's job end up on your lap? Did they say, Lisa is perfect for it, let's see if we can grab her? Or was there a formal application process? You had to sit down with the board, all that stuff. How did you get the gig?
Yes, I mean, when Sue announced her retirement, again, it was one of those ding ding moments where I said, oh my goodness, I want that job. And that if there was ever another nonprofit in town I'd want to work for, it'd be that one, because I was already very invested in the actual program. And yes, they did a very formal application process. They had it posted for many months. Applications closed around mid-August, and then it wasn't until about, I think they started interviewing late September, early October, and then had the selection process. So yeah, again, I feel very privileged to have gone through that process and been selected.
What was it like when you got the call, or they called you in, or whatever it was, and they said, you're at Lisa, we talked about it, and we're offering you the job. What was that like?
It was super exciting. And Jordan Miller, who was our board president, he gave me a call about 8 o'clock in the morning, dead on 8 a.m. And they'd had a meeting before, the night before the board had really, made a final decision. So when that call came, I was extremely nervous. And yeah, he said I had the job. But then I had the very dubious task of telling my coworkers, which I absolutely loved working with, and I just really, that was kind of happy, sad moment for me, because then I had to announce to them, and I had just celebrated our 10th anniversary of working where I was working, and They were all coming in with balloons and everything, and then I had to tell them the news. But they are obviously very happy for me, and of course there's a team coming, going to be part of the Rock and Roll Bowl too, so good connections.
Obviously, you shadowed Sue for what, 6-8 weeks? Because her
Yeah.
official last day was the end of January, right?
Yes, that's right. And so I started towards the end of November, and really because there was a lot to learn. And so yeah, we officially kind of worked side by side until pretty much the end of January.
CASA, with an outstanding staff and a bunch of volunteers, is a pretty well-oiled machine by now, isn't it, Kenzie? Everybody knows their roles and what's expected of them.
Yeah, for sure. We just kind of go to work and try to do our thing. It's one of those jobs where you never know what you're going to do that day.
Yeah.
You think that you have a to-do list, and it's 5 o'clock, and you're going, holy cow, I got nothing done. And then you look back and you're like, actually, I got a lot done, just wasn't on paper for my typical task.
Does the nature of what the CASA people do, is it hard not to take your job home with you at night? Because it's pretty sobering, difficult work. It can be some bad days. Are you able to do that when you're done with work and you say, I'm not going to have CASA in my brain tonight?
Sometimes, some days it's easier than others. Some days you are driving home and it really kind of hits you at that point, like, holy cow, I get to go home to a nice warm bed, and there's kids out there that don't, so it can be rough.
We have about 5 minutes left. Let's get some volunteers. We've talked about this before. It's not an easy thing to do. It's important work. It's vitally important work. But CASA always needs volunteers for the court-appointed special advocates. There's a significant background check. There's lots of things that have to go on. But if you think you have it within you to do it, let's get some volunteers. Lisa, how do we go about doing that?
Yeah, you can call the office. We are 662-7350. You can email us at cdcasa@cdcasa.org, and we'd be happy to, just pick up the phone and talk to us about it. We have informational nights, and I'm not sure when the next one is, Ken.
Next one's in April.
Next one's in April, and so that's a great opportunity for anybody who really wants to find out and actually talk to volunteers. We have volunteers come and they can just talk to them about what actually it all entails and get some experience. And when you talk about keeping up at night, I think some of our volunteers have talked about that, how their cases have kept them up at night, but they are out there advocating, and if they weren't the voice, there would be no other voice for these kids.
What's it like to live in a town that gives a damn? Because we do. I mean, the Wenatchee Valley is a pretty cool place to live, not just from a physical beauty standpoint, but there's a lot of people here who really care.
Oh my goodness, I am, I'm extremely well traveled, and I've lived in other parts of the world, and this is my community, and for that very reason, it's a very generous and as Sue mentioned too before, about a very supportive community. And with this, the number of volunteers that we have to maintain our 100% representation for every child, that is indicative of the generosity of this community and the commitment.
So Australia, counterclockwise on the sinks and the toilets? Is that, I've never been there.
It's been so long, so yeah.
We got 2 minutes left. Let's let Kenzie Conley, I still want to say English, I'm sorry. Thank your sponsors and give us the meat and potatoes one more time on Saturday, Kenzie.
So our child's champion again this year is Artisan Flooring, and we could not thank them enough for their support of our program. Confluence Health just came in last week. We have Molina Healthcare, Cascade Auto Center, and Dogwise, as well as Knights of Columbus, Cashmere Valley Bank, and Eastmont Lanes donates their space and their time for us.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it is.
Sponsor. It's definitely a huge cost that we do not have to put forth, which is awesome. We are very thankful for them.
Absolutely. Again, go to CASA, cdcasa.org, cdcasa.org. All the information that you need is there. It's 2 o'clock to 9 o'clock. On Saturday. Just give them a call. Get your team together. If you don't even have a team, there'll be somebody knocking on your door. Cut them a check. You don't have to. Just give them money. That's the best way to do it. And it's a huge fun. It's a lot of fun, as Kenzie said. They make it kind of a party atmosphere. We got 1 minute left. What's next for you, Lisa? As far as you took over from Sue. Do you have any? You're not going to make any major changes. You're just
just building. Building on that legacy, and we work. Our whole purpose is to recruit, train, and retain volunteers. So that's not going to change.
And as we mentioned in the newscast, we have a brand new NCW Life Channel magazine, which will be airing, I believe, this week. Certainly, we'll have segments of what Caitlin Heddersheet has put together. So if you're ever curious about the history of CASA, how it came together, what it is that CASA does, check out the NCW Life Channel magazine. You can download our program guide by going to ncwlife.com, ncwlife.com. She sat down and had a long interview with Sue. She talked to you quite a bit, Lisa,
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
And again, CASA always needs volunteers, always. Just and I'm sure you'll be recruiting on Saturday night as well, right?
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
Kenzie, good to see you. Lisa,
Yeah.
it's nice meeting you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you, Dan.
Everybody have a great President's Day. We'll see you Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.